look, Aurora Gaming is not out just yet. And a potential takedown, or make that a confirmed takedown by Ffws, with third elimination is still a four-man strong team.
Holy mama, what a play by Aurora so far. Definitely looking like the best Malaysian squad out there right here, right now. In fact, throughout the whole spring. FFWSC Spring definitely has some great promise of the Malaysians this time round. But one after the other, they get spent. Diamond with a car 98 finds Jun, finds Ezreal. Diamond on fire. Ffws could not make any sort of disruption come on through here to save the squad. And this puts Ffws in a 4v4 up against Twisted Minds for the Booyah.
Ring around Rosie happening right now. Twisted Mind a little bit too close. And Gracia has been taken advantage of. No one's guarding the back. Now, Eva's in mind. Three-man strong. 3v4 situation. They need to put up those blue walls. Make sure that it's not broken. But Aimgod tries to go for Valiant Dash, but unfortunately it doesn't catch them. But Diamond has been knocked down, evening it up. But Apex would be taken down. A combination of deposit jump right here, putting so much pressure, and Twisted Mind grabs the Booyah. Still taking number one spot in Kalahari.
Damn, bro, that was a great circle played by the Twisted Mind squad. Ring around the rosy, played to perfection. You gotta respect that out of the players. Bass and Jump went straight in there for the critical strike. And who did they rush for? They looked for the sniper of the squad. They took Gracia out. They found Apex right after. And thanks to the Riptide rhythm from Ffws from afar, they managed to make quick work of the final player as well. Twisted Minds, as usual, showing what they can do out there. They are at the very top of the leaderboard right now, Neptune, but that's only because they've played a total of 23 games. But even that being said, definitely one of the dominators of spring from the early get-go this time round.
And I believe with that elimination, number of elimination as well, they will be the first team to hit double century in terms of elimination. So I'm loving this aggression coming from Twisted Mind. This is what we love the first time we saw them play before they were Twisted Mind. And hopefully this carries on not only in the knockout stage, not only in these three phases, but also on the point rush as well as grand finals. And if they bring it on to EWC, I think a lot of regions would be in trouble.
Yeah, as far as Group C is concerned, I think Twisted Minds has managed to dominate Group C, right? Because Falcons, who are right behind them, they are a long, long way behind the one and only Twisted Mind squad. Impressive that both are from Thailand. Impressive that Thailand still dominates, even though we've got so much of these other countries just waking up. Indonesia has definitely woken up. You see Malaysia through Aurora waking up little by little as well. But the domination out of Thailand for Group C, just showing everyone that they're not here to slack off just yet. There's still a very competitive region that's in contention. Onyx Olympus waking up the fight as well. But again, they're not going to be able to overtake Twisted Minds after what they have done so far in their run here at the group stage.
Let's see now. I mean, it's really tough to go against Twisted Mind right now in the current state of things, but it's because of the pass as well. Because the number of elimination the guy has brought in just exceeded expectation compared to the others. I mean, we see like Wasana from Borneo United, who's not popping off that much. I don't know. Probably he misses Get High. Terna is not just turning on the Wasana buff just yet, but the pass from the get-go, he's getting so much. 65 out of the 200 plus elimination that he has brought in is just a lot. I think that's 30% of the elimination just coming from this guy.
The Bass having 65 eliminations on him just shows us that these guys are on to lock it in, right? The Bass is one of the newer players who have jumped on into the squad. We still have got Jump, we've got Ffws, we've got Diamond. They do pick up decent numbers here for themselves. What I'm surprised about is Ffws not taking advantage of this sniper meta, Neptune. I would have expected the sniper of the squad to be, you know, even if not leading with the number of eliminations, to at least be leading through the damage, but that's actually being picked up by Diamond at the moment. But either way, I think Twisted Minds are definitely on one of their best runs that they have ever been on. And obviously, we are expecting to see this from phase 2. I don't know if that is guaranteed for us.
Well, let's see though. I mean, there's a lot of hopes coming from the team to see what this team can bring in. But you did mention the damage being dealt with by Diamond, and this adds more to that. 3K on the damage with 6 elimination, and he's not even getting in the CQC reign.
Yeah.
Like Car 98, well, I guess it's given because we are talking about Kalahari right now. But when we look at the rest of the squad, Evo's Divine, well, no doubt that Evo's Divine needs to, or they need to eliminate Raskia from that fight. He was leading elimination
man.
part, and they just secured that Puya because he was taken out first.
Yeah, dude, you can say that again. I think Twisted Minds had the perfect strategy in that battle. They observed, they spotted which was the player that was the furthest away from the group, identified that this could be the sniper of the squad, rushed in with 2 of their rushes, Jump as well as the Bass, with the Zane and Oscar. Dude, that's a deadly combination of active skills with the extreme encounter as well as the Valiant Dash. Obviously, Raskia stood no chance. Even though he's one of the CQC sniper specialists, they just could not pull that off. Diamond and Exposi, on the other hand, this is where I've got the questions up, right? Skylar not doing too well on the eliminations so far in this group stage run for Exposi. Although that being said, as a squad, they're doing great.
Yeah, exactly. You know why the Jump is doing great as well?
Uh-huh.
Because his Zane has lost the shades. So he can see he can see
Amen.
enough and clear enough of the opponents as they rush in. But jokes aside, let's take a look at the numbers right here. Well, Diamond with 6 elimination. What follows through is the 4 elimination from both Exposé as well as Jump. And the Baz, well, despite of how the showing is coming from this guy, he got the lesser elimination from that match.
Yeah, it's not about the numbers. Sometimes it's all about the impact of the elimination. And I feel like if the Bass did not jump in there, together with Jump, pun intended, to take Raskia out, I think they would have been cooked by Ffws Divine in that circle. But great play from Twisted Minds, Ffws Divine at the end. It was a brilliant round from them. And I have to say once again, Aurora Gaming, count me impressed by Malaysia once again. This is the return. At one point, we thought it was Expand, and Expand was just on that consistent run. And then the squad kind of broke down, broke apart. But this is that revival and that comeback from some of those players who were definitely on that main roster of Expand. We can kind of see exactly where that's magic that was lost for a while. It's coming back. We just want to see consistency out of the Malaysian squad. Hopefully we get that by the time we get to the grand finals. Buriram United Esports just could not get it done this time around them.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, especially with how it ended, with the position that they've gotten as well. They were far away with only a few compounds to work with. I thought that was clear enough, but Onyx Olympus was blocking them. The moment that they went in for the engagement, they were the target of a lot of teams.
Yeah.
But this is what I want to point out. You did mention Aurora Gaming. Now they're third for today's game without getting any Booyah. So if they did manage to get a Booyah, take a lead, they will take a lead against Buriram United as well as BTR. It's a good start coming from the team. Great motivation for them.
Yeah, I mean, come on, Aurora. 1 Booyah to wrap the day up. And you know what? This 1 Booyah could just very much guarantee them that #1 spot of the team of the day, get them the extra 250 USD bonus that they're definitely well deserving of after this phenomenal run. 54 eliminations to match up to Bigatron by Vitality on the same exact standing of Buriram United Esports, who have got 1 Booyah advantage up against them. I think Aurora is on a tear today.
Let's see though. I mean, I'm excited to see which map they will be playing on because that gives us a little bit of insight on where, what advantage they have right now. But let's take a peek of the overall standings. Again, we've seen the 200 elimination points coming from Twisted Mind already. With that alone, it's difficult for Team Falcons to catch up. So no wonder they're not doing that much because they consider it easy and they can still maintain that second or third. But you can see Onyx Olympus move up as well, map after map. So I don't think the pressure is being felt by Team Falcons, but it's okay. It's still the first 2 weeks of this tournament. But AJ, guess we're ready to see which map they're playing on right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Map selector time, baby. It's the randomizer being whipped out to decide exactly who gets the advantage. If we get Bermuda, If we get purgatory, obviously, the teams that kind of started off a little hot today, Bigatron by Vitality would smile a little bit. You know for a fact, Onyx Olympus will smile a little bit. That's the advantage for Indonesia, but it's next Terra as we hit the rewind where Buriram started the day with a booyah. Maybe we end the day with a Buriram booyah.
Oh, let's see now. I mean, this is getting excited, and I want to see Aurora Gaming take that booyah as well. Though they were a little bit shy in getting those numbers in, especially when we're talking about this map. But with how they're approaching, I think they just need to outsmart their opponents, especially with them United, and they might be able to eliminate them, if not land in the final circle with that team. But a lot of potential outcomes might happen right here because we're still dealing with a few more Titans in this map.
Yeah, no doubt at all. We're definitely dealing with a few Titans out here, Neptune. We've seen them in play already. Today, Bigatron by Vitality has definitely been on fire, but they are not the only competition that we have to worry about, right? We also have heavy on the quick improvement. Vietnam has been doing decent today. In fact, WAG is the poorest performing Vietnamese squad today. Can you believe it? I'm a little confused, man. Vietnam's doing the thing again that I don't like. The inconsistency is creeping up. I hope we don't see this in phase 2, my friend.
I mean, definitely we don't want to see that in phase 2. What we want to see is teams improving, the consistent improvement of a team. But let's see if that would happen. Once again, looking at the top 3 teams in Nextera, Team Falcons is there with no booyah, but United, we've just witnessed a booyah coming from them, and AG Global, who will not be playing. And who's up next in leaderboard when we look at this team? It's ACD, who will be followed by Aurora Gaming. So there's still hope, despite of how far they are at number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at the next era performance, you're looking at teams like Falcons, Buriram, Twisted Minds, ACD's there as well. You did mention ACD, Aurora. These 2 Malaysian squads are right behind the Thai squads. But what Aurora has above ACD is the momentum. They have had a great run in here so far. Aurora's not too bad on next era, so I'm not very nervous for them. I am perhaps a little concerned about their rotation. Engagement-wise, I think Aurora has been very impressive. Getting into that final circle consistently and contending for the booyah has been one of the bigger challenges here for Aurora. They need to figure out exactly how to sort this puzzle piece out in their run towards phase 2, towards the Esports World Cup. If they can find this fix, I think we've got a champion on our hands here out of Malaysia, bro.
Well, let's see though if that would be fixed right now, because we are set. We are stepping into the future to find out what's next for this team. And there's no terror that can be brought other than next Terra. So let's head into flight right now as we clear the flight path and we step into this final map of today.
The next Terra could just be the Bigatron boys looking for their 3rd booyah of the day. Bigatron by Vitality. The team that is stuck with Buriram as well as Aurora inside a Group A, who are battling for supremacy out here today. But of course, the one great big advantage that Group A has is they are a clean run away from teams like Twisted Minds, Falcons, and Onyx Olympus when it comes to the number of matches played so far, Neptune.
Well, let's see now. Hopefully they take that for an advantage. But speaking of advantage, Heavy right now dropping into ACD, and I don't think they have an advantage because they're split up a little too thin compared to the other teams who stack up against each other, especially if they know that they have loops in front of them. Siege 1 up close and personal takes, caught off guard, no contention from the opponents from the other side. But Alan right now being challenged by 2 up close and 1 from afar. Will he be able to survive the MP40? That answer is no.
Oh, 1 for 1 here. Heavy needs to get the heck out of there because anyone can dream is within the compound as well. Leave Bigatron by Vitality to deal with ACD. If you're Heavy, you don't want any bit of this heat, Nep.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to deal with the heat. Heavy right now, Well, I mean, it is equalized in terms of numbers, but it's the position that they need to worry about. Thus, Don't Cry is not firing at anyone that he spots. On the other side, though, Steam Falcons dealing with Onyx Olympus. It's 3-for-1 right now, especially with Zyro no backup at all. So if Crime is smart enough, he pulls away right here, save up on a coin, but Putra might be a little bit too close on fire, and that can be the distraction that can save Zyro. Up close and personal, Tina! And there goes the Valiant Dash, and Zyro would be eliminated. But on-fire needs to be picked up as well, because surprise coming from Putra onto the other side. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Putra right now almost being taken out. In between those glue walls, he could have been down already. But Living 7 say hello to my AC80, and Adam would be next. This might be it for Onyx Olympus, and Team Falcons get their third elimination in Mortar Ruins.
You gotta love the heat. And now, Lightning Zone called by the Malaysian squad. Aurora looking for the White Tigers. Ffws Divine. Jun, opportunity. And he just unfortunately does not have the right gun at the right time. The one in the vehicle gets away.
Oh!
Jun on the other hand, gun doesn't work. The nade perfectly gets him that elimination. Aimgod with the VSK, missing Jun on the double shot. Doesn't look like the usual Aimgod play. And here comes Aurora for the finisher. Can they catch up with Ffws players who are desperately trying to get away? On the other side, we've got a civil war between Gao and WAG.
Now right now, losing out a couple of players, and Dion, which is sneakily hiding through. Long Ham, if he turns that corner, he will be spotted, and there you have it, Max 7 from both sides. With a backup that Gao doesn't have is an advantage that WAG has, and they will be eliminated at 12. Back to the lobby, though, they will be resting a little bit too early for today.
Unfortunate for Gao. Not a great run here in performance. 20 placement points before we started this game. 32 total eliminations. They're going to fall a little bit back because he was not too far away from them. Anyone can dream, though. Still needs to pick up quite a number of massive points to catch up with Gao. So 7th or 8th spot for Gao by the end of the day. Aimgod. Grenade. Double on the play. Ffws laying out the landmine as well as he rotates away. Shadowy Sports, do they get trapped?
Let's see now, Shadow Esports jumping in. And I thought it's Ffws Divine right here is putting pressure on Aurora Gaming. But Aimgod is just being quiet, trying to survive. But shot from Aurora. And Ffws take advantage of that timing when we thought that Shadow Esports could have saved them in that specific time. As Shadow Esports spread out, still haven't caught any of the Aurora Gaming. And a Valiant Dash plus a follow-up coming from June would be the saving grace for Aurora.
Riptide Rhythm breaking down the defenses here at the vending machine, making sure nobody's there. Shadow Esports showing up at the right time here. Chilsey will find the first one. Shinzi finds the second. And 2 players capped from the side of Aurora. 6 eliminations in. They have to continue picking up the numbers here as they look for the recovery. Ffws Divine up against Falcons, on the other hand, is not a engagement we can expect to see in a full-on battle. As Ffws Divine very slowly but carefully repositions after they lose AVAX.
Let's see now if they can hold this fort. But for Burem United, from that zip line, they might be heading into WAG. Shots already heard. But a little bit too close, though, for Wasana and Tema. Let's see. Moshi almost taken down. Half an HP or a few HP remaining. And they don't know where that's coming from. I guess it's BLS1. But here comes that lightning zone, forcing Burem United not to move away from the compound. And will WAG take advantage of this position to go against BRU?
Absolutely, man. They have to. WAG don't. Oh, beautiful boost with those glue walls up to the top. The stairway to not the heaven, but this roof. As WAG holds on to a great high ground advantage. Lightning zone called by the WAG players, hence the little bit of extra confidence here. Nice ice grenade toss towards Jonah, tagging up those players. They have to be careful because Bigatron by Vitality Probably trying to get up to a high ground as well, and WAG might just end up in their crosshairs.
See, now crosshairs is easy enough. It's pulling a trigger that is delayed.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the timing that they need to work on. But there goes Cryomine. And the Valiant Dash that follows through, but unfortunately no glue wall as well as no opponent that's been caught. And as quickly as that Grim United moves in on the inside, WAG will be caught off guard. They need to pull out. The vehicle will be used right now as a little bit of distraction. Wang Endo will be left behind, but a shot from Wasana with AC-80 doesn't save them.
Yeah, put it. I'm going crazy there. Onyx Olympus with the instantaneous revivals coming on through. I'm looking for more WAG plays. Wang Am out in the open. Great blue wall, double on the triple. Protecting himself as he quickly repositions, looking for the vending machine. Kikui is not going to be saved here. The damage has been done by Buriram. And now, zipline. The circle's the other way, Buriram.
Let's see if they can play it similar to what we've seen earlier. Remember in Nextera, they pull away from the rest of the squad. I don't know what this plan is, if they're getting the coins or getting like making sure that they get those vending machine on a challenge, and then that's where they fortify all their resources, then get back into play, get a better position. And with 11 teams, that's a good start for them. No contention, no chance of being third party, and they have an open view of the final circle.
Open view indeed. Heavy, Twin Bridge, doing the same thing as Buriram, just circling outside the zone. Too concerned about the damage output here by the circle. Sairu on the boost, managing to drive past Heavy, but not managing to save the vehicle that he was in. Gets tagged up by the Moko as well. And look at that Cryo Mine travel the battlefield. Tagging him up as well. Allen going in for the finisher. The player with the Cryo Mine off that toss, but Mufasa from afar with the LMG knocks him down to the ground.
M24, M249 rather. And it's a good start if you have an LMG in here, like saving those blue wall melters or any skill. But speaking of save, there's no saving Twisted Mind from being eliminated in the fight. And Team Falcon's the one who's rocking the board right now with its 12th elimination after dealing with Aurora Gaming. So all hopes for those Booyahs is now down the drain, as we are still left with 9 teams. But how can you challenge Team Falcons if they're showing up in their prime right now?
This is really solid, man. I mean, Falcons in their prime. Anyone can dream, still alive. That's a great big blessing. But Falcons, just one of those squads, when they choose to wake up, they can. 12 eliminations is nothing for this team that's on fire. Traps got tagged earlier. The moment they smell blood, they want to taste it too. They're going in here for the finisher.
Let's see. Limit X7, M82B action. No glue wall is stopping him. And he doesn't need an Iris to put in so much of that. Not even a Riptide Rhythm is being laid out. It's more off information, as well as a backup coming from the rest of the squad. And Team Falcons is raking in all of those elimination right now. And AZD is the unsuspecting target.
I mean, that was just a little bit of a boo-boo there in those shots off of Limit. But it's okay. Everyone can make a mistake once in a while. Limit has got that M82B AWM on the flip. This time does not miss the aim onto Ffws. Ffws annihilated, and anyone can dream. At the same time, they can also sleep, says Limit.
I'll see if they can sleep, because they will be dreaming right now. Resting it a little bit early, being eliminated on the 9th place. Evo Zavino, a little bit too slow. Might be challenged by their countrymen, BTR, but who's jumping into the fray? WAG, just next door. And it is being witnessed not only by Shadow Esports, but also Team Falcons is jumping in next to them.
Solid play here, WAG. Quickly weaseling their way out the moment they noticed Bigatron by Vitality, and he was there. Decent reposition, but there's just so far they can go. There is a vending machine, though, that they could try to navigate towards, but they also know that that's going to be the prime zone. Everybody's going to be looking for the rotation on. WAG wants these points, Neptune.
Let's see if they can grab those points, if they can get that position. But I mean, compared to the compound that they're holding right now, Boxing Gym is quite spread out, and anyone can drop in on either side of that area. Vending machine would be an easy target to get or to take advantage if in case anyone would be dropping in for the revive. But do you have enough cover? That is a question. If you're deciding to relocating in that position compared to what WAG has been holding right now, only a few openings to deal with, and they are guarding it well.
The next 7-5 eliminations in hand already. Falcons with a total of 16. A great run for the EWC 24 champs. They had a historic run, and it all started off with a victory here on FFWSC Spring 2024 net.
See if they can maintain that prestige right now. 16 elimination can easily be 20 in a bit. I think they're chasing for the target as well. 25 elimination is the highest that we have in one specific match. That is still being held by Buriram United. But Guerrero almost being taken down. Blue closing in. What a move coming from Pina. Didn't expect them coming from that, using that vehicle right now. But as the blue closes in, the damage will be dealt not only on Heavy, but also on Team Falcons. But they are ahead in terms of rotation, leaving Heavy in open ground if in case they move out.
This is slowly boiling into chaos zone as the circle starts to squeeze these squads in together. Heavy versus Falcon. Shadow Esports can take advantage of this situation right here, right now. Oh, we see it. Yes, we do. Here comes Rin. Here comes one. One for two. As Rin gets a triple of the F590. Falcons being obliterated by Shadow Esports. Heavy's gonna get eaten up too. Shadow Esports waking up. Right time, right place, right move.
Our shadows into the light. And they have decimated two teams at once. Now, the challenge is here. Buriram United, who's jumping in close to them. They do have a ridge to work with, as well as a compound. Blue walls, perfect timing. Get away from being thrown all those nades. And Jonah was just cooking. But I guess it is a little bit uncooked right now. He won't be able to throw anything unless they break down those glue walls.
Yeah, you can say that again. Buriram United Esports now up against Shadow potentially in this next bout. Both of them will be looking for the circle at the same time. If Onyx gets involved on the rotation towards Shadow, this could be a GGWP for the Indonesian squad. It's all about the timing here. As the circle starts squeezing everybody in, somebody needs to make the first move. Buriram wanting it to be Shadow.
Oh. Let's see if they can bring that to Shadow. Evo's Divine, on the other hand, good chance, good opportunity to go for the flank against WAG. But no, they're taking rooftop, making sure that they're not in clear sight of WAG. But a great opening right here on the side of WAG if in case they use any skills to speed up. Valiant Dash, Rebel Rush, but no. They are not working with that just yet. And the battle is happening on the other side where BTR is beating down on Onyx Olympus, especially with the God Nade on that initiation.
Absolutely. Shadow Esports. What a play so far. Alive and kicking as Ffws gets expanded. Out in 6th. Now setting it up for Shadows to slowly start circling around. Buriram picking up most of the players here that they can spot out. And Shadow hoping and praying they are not one of them. They spot Buriram and they say, hasta la vista, we are out of here.
Let's see, 4 teams remaining. 4 players from each. And BTR, Shadow Esports, can start it off hot right now. But a shift is favoring WAG. If they move fast, then that's when the advantage comes in. But no, BTR jumps in first. Unfortunate, Joel has been tagged and eliminated. But the opening is still on their side. Here comes Buriram United. And you know how it is when it comes to the high ground. They will take advantage of that to get all of those knocks in. Moshi was able to squeeze himself. But no, it's just to block off the stairs with a glue wall. A great run coming from Buriram United to secure that rooftop.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And this is Bigatron by Vitality playing this smart as well. Not the rooftop, which keeps them out in the open, but in a decent spot where they can play the timing, wait out this battle, allow WAG, Shadow, and Buriram to snuff each other out before they get involved in the battle. as they go for their third booyah of this day. Bigatron by Vitality playing for the big one, and this is not even their final day of play. So I'll say they are on a fantastic run right now for Indonesia.
Oh, let's see now. Let's see. A little bit slow down right now, but everyone is forced into this specific area. Indonesia, or at least one of the teams, wow, hopefully both teams survive this, then they can take advantage of that position and bring down WAG. But no, Rotterdam United is just putting them at bay. WAG, I don't think they will be leaving that easily. 10 seconds ago or 8 seconds ago, before this phase shrinks, and it forced everyone out in the open. Who has more glue walls, who has more medkits, might be the winner in the fight.
Absolutely. This is just turning out to be a standstill here. Cryo Mine, courtesy of WAG. Plushy will be taken out. It marks one player, but it's not gonna... Great glue wall. Bounces. The nade away. Ice grenade from the side of Shadow Esports is not avoidable, though. Monster truck called out now. What? Double. Ice grenade. Double Riptide Rhythm being sent the way of Shadow Esports. Distraction. Now everybody focusing fire on Shadow Esports. They've got a boulder to make good work of here, and they need to throw every single glue wall out. Bigatron by Vitality trying to cross the road. Why did Bigatron cross the road? Because they thought they could find points. They find none, though.
Oh, they found none and lost to Koja and Jibank. Needs to be careful right now because WAG has already kept their distance. One will be taken down, and Brunei is still putting a lot of pressure. But the worst thing is the pickup is not being done on BRU just yet, but it's a good thing that they still have some glue walls to work with and some players that's still left on a high ground. Deadly Rotterdam United in this position. Even WAG, despite of them going for the knockdown, I don't think they can bring down BRU just yet unless they push for that high ground.
It was right here on this map that Buriram started off the day with a booyah. It is right here where Buriram is aiming for the booyah once again. Bigatron by Vitality crossed the road, made a big mistake. WAG now in the hands of Koja being obliterated. And the timing was Sana with a valiant dash, pushing PLS1 out of play. Nan7 now being caught inside of his own glue wall maze. Koja and Sibank staying out of the battle. Moshi and Jonah inside the circle. Wasana breaks down the defenses once again with a valiant dash. Hops right back in, but Bigatron by Vitality have barricaded Buriram outside, and Sibank with jumps on in, gets his shot annihilated, and Wasana waiting for the cooldown on the valiant dash. But one final medkit play off of the Buriram players get them the final booyah of the day.
Rotterdam United, despite of being knocked down, I guess, I don't know. I mean, they might have a little bit under their bag so that they were not eliminated out of that game. Rise-A-Line, the time of Rise-A-Line, have yet to make a comeback, and I guess that's what's saving Rotterdam United. But I love the gameplay coming from BTR. They could have won that, especially with that multiple glue wall stairs, and then the super medic gameplay just not to be shot by Rotterdam United.
I mean, when you are a player like Turner, you got to figure out how do you impress the world when you join a squad that's already so impressive, right? Yeah. Everybody's going to outshine you. But Turner's like, no. There's a good reason why I made it to this squad. He just gifted the team the booyah in that circumstance by being that final survivor. The stairway to heaven definitely helped him to get to a safe spot, high ground on the medkit play, just patching himself up time and time again. But Wasana, I think one of the biggest highlights of that valiant dash that he played off of the team there, waiting for the cooldown in those final moments as they were barricaded out by the Bigatron by Vitality players. Big brain play, I'll say. If your opponents have got their valiant dash on cooldown, that Oscar was unusable. Man had to wait outside the glue wall for a little while before smashing it. But it's crazy because the timing, the cooldown on the valiant dash is quite manageable now, even in a tense situation like that, Neptune.
Yeah, exactly. And if Sibank didn't jump off a little bit too premature, he might have survived helping his teammates. And then that strategy that's being brought in by Wasana would be thrown off. and the timing would be thrown off. So it's just things happening favoring Buriram United's play, and still, I mean, they have the numbers to work with. So Buriram United surely have that in the bag, but we didn't expect that to end just because of the circle. So props on both of the teams managed to survive that final onslaught.
Yeah, I mean, that was a deadly zone for sure. I think it needed a lot of skill. It needed a lot of strategy to survive. Props to Shadow Esports. I think we were looking for some recovery play off of them. They managed to find it finally. But unfortunately, it's towards the very end of the day, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, that was the very final game the Shadow Esports would play for their group stage run. Before we kind of hash out the top 18, they don't get to play anymore because tomorrow, the final day of our group stage, we get to see the other teams play. And Shadow Esports hasn't really put up a lot of points to stay inside the top 12. So that's a little bit of a tough one, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, at least they're bringing out a few of those fights in. We can see that they're trying to survive. They're putting in a lot of effort in eliminating their opponents, and even if they get pushed down out of 12, come phase 2, there's still a fighting chance for them to reach the top 6 or top 2 for each day, so that they can head into point rush. And that's where the trouble begins. If you get tired and everything of your tactics shows before you get into the phase 3, or before you get into phase 3, wherein there's more chances of you getting into the point rush, then that will bring you out of contention for the grand finals.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about that at all, right? I think strategy and consistency definitely can book you a spot in the grand finals. Phase 1 is very kind. Phase 1 has allowed the squads to experiment, to go out there, make some mistakes. Phase 2, when it comes on through, no more rooms for mistakes, right? We do have a couple of opportunities within week 3 for early qualifier to point rush, but there are limited spots indeed. Only 12 teams get to make it through. We will have to slice away the bottom 6. But thankfully, that is not done until we get to the end of week number 4.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to who's taking it by tomorrow, because that's where we start off that storyline. Because 3 phases in the knockout stage before we get into the end of week number 4, before we head into the grand finals as well. But all those talks aside, we're seeing great engagement right now. A lot of highlights that we've seen from the team, and even the top dogs at some point were challenged in situations wherein we thought that they're the ones who's going to wreck everyone else, other than the final moment. Where in Buriram United, BTR, they're considered top dogs already in this competition.
It's crazy because I thought Aurora would stand a chance to make it to the top this time around. They did manage to claim some extra points here, but unfortunate, right? No booyahs at all. And again, this is what I expect Aurora to fix in the very, very near future, because if they do, they're definitely one of the big contenders here in Southeast Asia once again. Because today, Buriram and Bigatron by Vitality have managed to outplay them for sure. Speaking of Buriram, Moshi with the MVP here. 3 eliminations, 3,359 on the damage. Rocking the VSS this time.
I mean, quite surprising. It's not a mistake, because we've seen a lot of VSS gameplay, especially coming from snipers, where in distance is in the favoring them, and this is a weapon that has this great distance, great accuracy, as well as a decent amount of fire rate compared to those other SMGs. But looking at the top elimination, it's Team Falcons taking reign out there. 15 elimination just on the board of top 5, followed by Sibank and then Rin from Shadow Esports.
What is going on here? Falcons, throughout the whole day, have barely played a decent game, right? And then on this final match, Falcons just went absolutely ballistic. How many eliminations in total? We don't know just yet. We'll check it out in a little bit. Let's look at the active-passive lineup here. They've only got a solid sniper lineup in Skylar, Moshi. Apart from that, it is a decently set up aggressive battle outfit. The A124 with the thrill of battle to initiate those engagements. They've got the Oscar. They dropped the Nano this time around, but the Valiant Dash out of Asana, definitely a well-suited skill by that electrotherapy, the Turner.
And they can utilize that A124 to deny any movement on the team. If you have a Valiant Dash, if you pull up a bunch of blue walls, spend yourself, you have the Valiant Dash from the opponent that can be stopped in a couple or a few seconds, and that's advantage already for Purim United. So smart move to bring that A124. We seldom see that, but there's a lot of teams that are taking advantage of that because of how it disables or how other skills are being enabled towards final circles.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that again, man. It was a brilliant play out of Buriram, but Falcons, 17 eliminations, just not pulling any stops this time around, but just got annihilated because the aggression was a tad bit too much towards the very end. And obviously, in a lobby like this, you always have to watch your backs, right? Falcons just couldn't do it this time around. Big in terms of vitality, the consistency is mind-blowing, picking up 20 points this time in this matchup. And Shadow Esports, alongside WAG, with their recovery play finally now.
Yeah, well, I really love the recovery being done right here, but is it enough? Especially for those teams who are ending their reign in this first week as we look in the overall standings. Again, let us point out those in Group C already. So Twisted Mind Team Falcons has completed their 24 matches. Same goes with Onyx Olympus, and they're part of the top 5. And then we can read on 8th spot right now has also ended their day, or their phase 1 run. The same goes with Shadow Esports. And unfortunate team wasn't able to cross over in 12th spot is Evo Divine, who also completed 24 matches. But again, there's no questioning they can put themselves or bring themselves to EWC even if they don't perform.
Yeah, that I most definitely can agree with you. At the end of the day, this is phase 1, so mistakes are definitely forgivable. But as far as today's standing goes, Aurora does not get the 250 extra bonus, baby. Put it up United Esports. They rip it away again. 108 points, beating Bigatron by Vitality by just a single point at the very top. Lesser when it comes to the eliminations, but a little bit more consistent when it comes to the placement points. Starting and ending the day with a Booyah is put it up.
Yeah, I mean, if the Booyah was not grabbed by Purim United in that final moment, they were tied to elimination. So it's still BTR who could have taken the lead and grab that team today. But no one's crying. We've seen great lengths being taken by BTR to be able to show us what they're made of. A lot of great strategy, a lot of new strategy, especially the double snipes that they have, but they need to work on it. Just make sure that this team, Purim United, will not go ham anytime soon. But let's celebrate once again. Team of the day, 61 elimination, 108 in the total points, and 43,000 solid